Okay, so now that you have your font that you have decided that you like for your name, now we've got to practice in that font creating it to be in 3D. So I've got to turn it into bubble letters because remember, we can't have anything skinny. So you take your font that your chosen font and you create it to look like a bubble letter, block letter. So that way you know exactly what the edges look like. And you got to pick your spot for your vanishing point. So I want my vanishing point to be a little bit over here to the side. You're going to need a ruler, and the first thing to do is always line up all of your bottom corners. So I'm going to take the L first because it's larger, so that way I know where the E is going and what the E looks like. Remember, the E dies at the L because the L is in front. And so every corner of anything at the bottom of the letters has to go back. So this is really giving you that practice of perspective. Make sure you take the time to line up your ruler to the edge. Once I have that, then it's about lining up every corner, every edge. So I have to go now to the top parts or middle parts. So anything that has to go back, this A right here is going to go back, but it's going to be overlapped by the S, so it stops right there. This backward corner right here, corner inside, the L, the I, so it's just being patient and making sure you have every aspect of every part of the letter done. Okay, now the second part of this is the letter's not going to stay all the way to the vanishing point. So I'm going to cut it off eventually. And so I want, this is the part I've seen the people struggling with the most online or at the turn-in part. So this right here, this bottom part of my S, I have to mirror that as best I can right here. And so we're going to kind of create the tube effect. Now look, this gap right here, I have to have that curve somewhere over here so that way it looks three-dimensional. And so this is the part that I've seen on Canvas that seems to be really kind of tripping people up. People are struggling with it. Oh, and look, I made a mistake there. So taking everything back. And so even this guy right here, this wiggly line on the side of the eye has to be done. So this is really starting to understand how 3D looks and works. So this is the part that I want you guys to work on because this is the hard part. And I know some of you are like, oh, I know how to do perspective. Yeah, you may understand the concept of perspective, but creating these tunnels and these gaps and going back up, making sure your letters are totally three-dimensional, that's what I want you guys to work on, is this part where you totally turn your name into a three-dimensional aspect. And so if I speed up my drawing process just so that I can show you kind of a finished product. replace what you don't need, and you can see, so you're using the vanishing point to help you get the three-dimensional aspect of your name, but you're not going to finish it all the way. So in the end, your name should just be a floating three-dimensional name.